Hello everyone and welcome to my first video on Corinne's Crafts YouTube page. Oh, I'm so excited, and thank you to everyone who's been in touch and said I needed to get a YouTube channel going. I'm really pleased. I'm really humbled by the amount of you that have been in touch and said please keep sharing my crafty know-how and what have you. So yes, so here we are with our inaugural, I think that's the right word, video on my YouTube page. Now, just a little bit of background. I'm going to do two of the next two projects are going to be nice and simple. We're not going to go complicated. This is the first card. You can see we've got some nice little, some inking, some blending, just a little bit of die cutting. We're going to keep it, see if I can get that a bit more in focus. It's not liking that, is it? There'll be a picture so you can see, but this is the card that we're going to be making. I'll get a better picture for you in a minute, but there's the first card. It's going to be nice and simple. The bits are from all over. I'm just using my crafty stash. I am not particular to any one brand. You might not have everything that I use. You might have little bits, and you're going to be able to make it your own way. This is just for inspiration, top tips and things like that. So please follow along. I'd love you to subscribe to the channel. I'd love you to comment, and apparently there's a little bell that if you click on that at the top, you will then get notifications when I put up new videos. So please keep in touch and let me know if you like the videos, and we'll develop it as it goes along. So here goes with the video. Okay, so here we are. We've got a better picture of the card we're going to be making. So hope you like what I do. Now, the card we're going to make, I've made this with sort of rusty colours and oranges. This time we're going to change it up a little bit, and we're going to come in with sort of, what do you call it, a plum damson colour? I think that's how I would use it. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm still going to use exactly the same inks as I've used on the background, but instead of picking up the terracotta, we're going to pick up the damson colour. So let's move that out of the way. So what I have got is I've got four pieces of card, really simple, and I've just gone up in nice increments for each one. So I'll start with the first one, and the first one is 4 inches by 5 3/4. So we've just gone up to the next one. So if that's 4, we've gone to 4 1/4 by 6, and then we've gone to 4 1/2 by 6 1/4, and then we've gone to 4 3/4 by, I've lost track of where I've got to, by 6 1/2. There we go. So that's the measurement for those. So really nice and simple, and if I remember, I'll put it into the comments what those measurements are. The card blank, I just literally made it out of a folded piece of A4, folded over, and I just put that piece on, and then just put the border as big as you want. I've gone more like a 1/2 inch rather than a 1/4 inch that I've done with the layers, just to show you that differential between the layers. So the two largest ones we're not going to do anything with at all. They're just simple. Now the two smaller ones, this is multi-purpose card, just a regular card, and this is a watercolor card. So again, because we're going to be adding water and doing some techniques, just thought we'd better do that. So let's start. Where should we start? I know, we'll start with our watercolor, I think. So I have got 3 ink pads here. Excuse my hands going over. There we go, and you can see them there. And I've just got blending brushes. You can use different types of blending brushes depending on what you like. These are just more like your makeup sponges, and do you know what, makeup blending brushes, and do you know what, they work brilliantly. Go online and you'll be able to find makeup brushes at a ridiculous price, and then you'll be able to use those or get some of those. I'm just trying to find. I've also got these blending brushes, which I love, from Time for Tea. They're absolutely gorgeous. I'll show you. I might mix up the blending brushes to show you. So I've got 3 colours. These are actually duet ink pads, so they're like a hybrid one. So your Tim Holtz hybrid ink pads, I've got, you know, distress ink pads are all going to work too. So first of all, I just want to lay down some colour. So I'm just sort of marking out where my 3 colours will go. Three works really well. 4 is sometimes even easier to lay down. Now I've just got a little piece of kitchen towel, paper towel on here, and we're doing it like that. And I'm going to just mix and match the blending brushes just so that you can see how they work. wow, this feels strange doing this. This is the first video. I'm hoping you're all going to like, you're going to comment and you're going to subscribe, because you don't know how much it's meant to me in the last week or so to get all of your lovely comments and asking how I am. I'm absolutely great. I'm doing really well and I'm loving getting these videos together. So yeah, so we're just going to, like I say, we're going to start off nice and gentle and we're just going to build it up. Now, every time you do this, it'll come out different. I promise you, it'll come out different because you'll put your inks down in a different way. So all you can see, what I've done here is I've just laid out my colour, and I'm just going to go, how did I do it? That one. Orange was on this brush. I'm just going to bring a bit more orange down here. Now remember, you're not going to see, oops, didn't mean to do that, I had some on my finger. You're not going to actually see much of this when it comes through. Was that my yellow? Yes, it was. Too many things on my desk already. You're not going to see much of this because it's going to be underneath the next layer. So don't worry like that. I've got a little blodge. That was on my finger. That was silly, wasn't it? We can work it out. So once you've got your colours where you want them to be, let me move that there so I'm not reaching over all the time. Gosh, a week away and I'm forgetting all my camera skills already. You will then just, you just add more ink once you've added your basic layer, so you know where you're going with them. So like I say, that was just placement to begin with, and then blend them. Now you could be using pigment ink pads if you like to blend with, but I'm actually going to add some water here. So any of your water reactive ink pads are going to work. There are so many brands do water reactive ink pads. I mean, the biggest one that we all know is probably your Tim Holtz. You can use those. I haven't got any Tim Holtz at the moment. I used to. At the moment I don't. That's just where life is, isn't it? Perhaps I'll start building some of those up again in the near future. We'll see where that goes. So yeah, any of your water reactive ink pads or ink pads that react to water will do this. So again, I'm putting this on and I'm not being too concerned about how much they're blended in, because like I said, when you've got to the end result, you'll actually only see little snippets. But if you want to blend where the colours meet, then go for it. Now we're actually going to sort of wick out a lot of this colour. So yeah, you're laying it down to almost take it away in a minute, but you'll see what I mean in a minute. So we can pop that on here. There we go. I think I'm almost happy with that. Yeah, let's just make sure we're blending. There we go. Right, let's just try and tidy up a little bit as we go. As my stepdad always says to me, a tidy site is a safe site. So we will try and follow some of those principles. Not promising that we'll maintain it, but there we go. So I've got my colours. I'm just going to get rid of the ink off my mat. Little spritz of water. I've got a scraggy cloth. There we go. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring this back in. Now, spritz bottle, you can spritz straight onto it and that's going to give you a really fine mist, but what I tend to do is I spritz it into my hand so that I can get bigger droplets. Can you see I'm getting proper droplets onto there? We can do that. I mean, if you haven't got a spritz bottle, just pick up some water on a brush and then I'm just going to spritz a bit onto there. Now what you need to do, the longer you leave it, the more it will wick out that colour. So I'm just going to leave it for a minute, open up my kitchen roll. While that's doing, that gives me a minute to plug in my heat gun, just because I want to go on to the next stage. So once I've got it like that, I'm going to pop my paper towel over the top, just pat it down. I'm not trying to smudge, I'm just trying to get that water off. And then you can see we've got some nice watermarks going on there. Now, if it takes off too much of your ink, dry it and start again. Not start again, but just top up the inks to what you want. Don't worry, we've not finished yet. It's going to do a little bit more on here. There we go. So now you've got two choices. You can either let it dry or you can make it dry. As you can see, I'm making it dry just by going over with a heat tool. It doesn't have to be perfectly dry, but can you see I've got a little bit, I've got a little bit of water under here which I can just blitz off. And the paper cockles a little bit, but then if we turn it over and dry from the back, it will straighten itself back out. If at the end it's not very straight, the easiest thing to do is pop it through your die cutting machine and yeah, it'll flatten back out like that. Just put it between a piece of copy of paper and just run it through with no dye obviously, and that will work. There we go, so you can see that's nice and dry. So let's put my, there we go. So can you see? Perfect. Now, I'm actually going to see, I found a new stencil last night. Excuse me, opening drawers. Where did I put it? I put it right down by my feet. I don't know where the stencil came from, but it's one that I had. I was having a bit of sort out and I found this one. So I'm going to come on here now. I've got some pigment inks here with a nice shimmer in them, and they go through stencils so beautifully. I've got finger daubers, which I think are brilliant for using with stencils. So I've got a nice ready, oh, it's quite red there, look. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to really drag that ink down. I'm going to find different places to put it, and remember, all that ink that's on your stencil can still be manipulated and moved. And what I love about this is it comes out as one colour over the yellow, it's coming out as a different colour over the top of the purple, so you're going to get different effects. So let's then pick up this other one, my cosmic purple. You can see the shimmer on there, can't you? And then we're going to pop a bit more ink on, and we're going to blend right up. I'm not going to get too heavy with the inks. I don't want it to be too overpowering. And again, where the two colours mix, I'm going to quite happily let those inks mix. Now, I've not put any adhesive on the back, she says, just as it moves, but I'm not too concerned because, again, we're not going to be able to see that much of this when it does. Do you know what? I did this in practice and it never moved once. And just as I said to you, I'm not sticking it down, it moved. That's sod's law, isn't it? So there we go. Let's just put a little bit, and then you can see. So again, this one's slightly different to the one I just showed you, but that's going to be like that. Now, pigment inks are have larger molecules, so that means they take that little bit longer to dry, which is why I've done this bit first. So I'm just going to make sure my hands are clean, and then we can then get the next bit ready. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that. Look at that, doesn't that look lovely? And I'm going to just pop it in the sunshine on my windowsill just up here to dry. Okay, now are my hands clean? I don't believe they are, so I'm going to get a wipe, make sure my hands are clean, and make sure the table's clean too, because we don't want ink on our next bit. Okay, so I'm going to get the next piece of card, which, if we remember, was 6 1/4 by 4 1/2. There we go, 6 1/4 by 4 1/2. And I've just found a circle die. But this could be a flower shaped die, it could be a heart shaped die, it could be a hexagon, it could be whatever you want. And then I'm just going to pop it. Now, I think unless you are very accurate, random is better, because if you're not very accurate and you try to do things in straight lines, then it can start to go a little bit wrong. If you worry at all about being accurate, then just do random lines, much better. Okay, so I am going to get my plate. I've got my cutting plate, I've got my plastic shim, and I'm not putting a magnetic shim in on this because I'm just doing basic shapes, and this is my top layer, so I don't want it to mark. So I'm going to take it over to my die cutting machine. You can't see it, so there we are. That has done the first one, and then you can just keep on working through until you've got all of the holes like that. Now, why has that one come out? I've used the wrong piece. It should have been my smaller piece. Oh, now, can I get away with that? Or do I need to cut another one? Oh, I'm going to be able to get away with that. Right, it should have been in the smaller one, so let's do it in the smaller one. Sorry about that, folks. This one is your smallest one. This is your 4 by 5 3/4. I'm so sorry. And all you do is you're going to cut through like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or in a random pattern. It's entirely up to you. And there you go. That was me getting carried away. I always make a mistake in every demo that I do, but usually I can hide it, but that one I couldn't, and I'm not going to try and hide it. Okay, so we've cut out the 5 holes, and that now is going to go over there. So can you see straight away, it doesn't matter too much about your blending, it doesn't matter too much about your stenciling, because you're only seeing little bits of it. You're not seeing the whole works. There we go. All right, so I'm still not going to stick those down yet. I'm going to bring in a piece of vellum. So I've got my vellum, and I've just got 2 random foliage dies. So I'm going to fold my vellum into thirds. Vellum die cuts beautifully, but I don't like die cutting single layers of vellum. I think it doesn't cut as well. If you're really concerned, then maybe put a piece of copy paper through on the top of your vellum, so that you're cutting copy paper before your vellum, and it sometimes gives you a better cut. So this is 3 layers of vellum. I've just got my mini die cutting machine, and that's going to go through there just like that. Hand on the top, just let it go through. I only need to go through once. Let's keep my mini on top of my regular die cutting machine, and look at that, 3 layers of vellum, absolutely beautifully cut first time. So this is just going to give us a hint of detail and a hint of foliage. Can you see all of those? 1, 2 and 3. 1 in there. Let me get my pokey tool out. There we go. I'm using my pink one. I haven't used this much. My friend's partner made this for me, and I'll see if I can get the details and let you all have details of where to get those, because they are beautiful. My friend's partner Wayne makes them. They're lovely. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. And the other thing is, I went and had a look at some of my sentiment dies, and I found my Sharon Callis ones. Gosh, I've had these quite a long time. They're the floristry ones from Sharon Callis. Did tell you that I am going to be finding all sorts out of my stash to use, but you will have word sentiment dies all over. So I have just cut out in white, and I've just cut it out in the plum colour as well, like that. And then we're just going to be able to create a lovely little drop shadow. Now, I ummed and ahed. I did 2 ways. I thought, do I have it as purple and drop shadow with the white, or do I have it as white and drop shadow with the purple? That's entirely up to you. I'm just poking out these little bits. They've all cut. And again, these are brilliant for going through your little die cutting machines. They will work really well. It's up to you. You can do whichever works best. So you could do the purple, or whatever colour your colourway is, with white, or white with a purple. We're going to do white with a purple. So let me get some glue. Let me get this going, and I'm just going to pop it on the back of my white die cut. So we're going to have white on the top, because this is sort of, I'm working on the I quite like clean and simple cards without too much, I say too much colour, but look at that background I've made. But you know what I mean. I do like where the top element is nice and clean and simple. So we're just going to pop some glue on the back, just with our precision tip, just to make sure that we're just controlling the glue. And then all I'm going to do is lay it on top. Now, this is where you need to decide how much you're going to show. Now, because this is going to be on top of a white topper, I want to make sure that I've got a little bit of the purple showing. I'm not going to go as fine as I perhaps would on other occasions. Once you've got that, you can then, because your glue gives you a little bit of wiggle room, then we can just adjust it until, there we go. Gosh, this is giving me so many reminiscence of the times I used to do my videos. I don't know if anybody used to watch those when I used to do them for the magazine. We used to talk for 2 days, just like this, me, a camera, and lots of demos. But yes, lovely. Right, so that's my Celebrate. So let's bring this in. I told you this is going to be a really simple card. So I've got my card blank. I'm then going to come in with my plum layer, and then it's up to you which glue you use. You can use a tape runner, you can use your a sort of water-based glue. I'm using all-purpose just because I like the strength it adds from Collal. It's entirely up to you. So I'm going to pop this on flat, and again, look at that. I could give it a little bit of a wriggle. If any of the glue comes out, I can just wipe it off as well. So there we go. I think that looks straight. So then I'm going to do a white layer. This is that one that I cut out that by accident. I just want to show you the difference. If you put that onto there, it looks lovely. If we put this onto here and this onto here, can you see it just makes it pop that little bit more? Don't be afraid of mats and layers, and don't be afraid of using white card. Both of them are your best friends for card making. So we can come on like this. There we go. I just had some thought, is this phone recording? Yes, it is. Don't worry, I've cut that little bit out. It doesn't matter, it's going to be hidden. We're going to pop that on here, and then we're going to come in with this. Now you might choose at this point to maybe use a tape, because your card is can be a little bit sort of cockled and buckled, and a tape will hold it down flat. But I have faith that I can get this on nice and flat, and I think any of you that have watched me for a while are going to know what I'm going to do next. So we can pop that onto here, and then I'm actually just going to find, oops, get rid of that little bit, I've just smudged a little bit. I'm going to get another piece of paper towel. I'm just going to lay that over the top. I'm going to get my brayer, I'm going to hold the card down, and I'm just going to roll that over. And I've only just put the paper towel on just because in case some of my ink's still a little bit damp. Now where I've got that little bit of ink, I'm just going to get my little clever magic eraser, and that should hopefully erase most of those little bits as well. Gets rid of any little bits of glue that's showing. And the great thing about collal is it does rub off. Right, there you go, it just twisted a little bit, but there we go, absolutely perfect. So the next bit we need to do is I'm going to bring this in. You can go either way, it's up to you. I just liked 5. I thought it was good. I thought if I did 6 and they were even, then I've got to line up vertically and horizontally, and I just thought that way things could start going a little bit wrong. So I just did it my way. And again, please, I'd love to see your projects that you make. I'd love to know what you think of this project. Like I say, keep it nice and simple for the first one. Please comment along with the video, and please subscribe if you can. I would love you to come on this journey with me and see where it goes. So that's going to go on there like that, and then I'm going to get my sentiment, and I'm just going to pop it across there. So I'm going to go across a couple of little holes. Did you see my deliberate? I just got a little bit of ink on there, so I was very careful to make sure that my sentiment is going over there. I'm just trying to work out where I need the glue. I know when I did it the test one, I put the glue all over, and I didn't actually need it all over, but I think it might be easier just to do that. Little dabs of glue, then we can put that, and I'm going to hide that little smudge. I get ink everywhere, I don't know, we all do, but you don't want to throw a project away just for the sake of a little bit of ink, do you? So we've got to this point, so I've just jumped ahead, lift that off. I need to put my foliage on. What was I thinking or not? So let's decide my centre point. My centre point is going to be here, so let's put a little bit of glue on. I jumped ahead, and then we can pop this one on, and I'm going to pop a little bit of, now people often worry about vellum and gluing vellum down. Don't worry, we're using such a small amount of adhesive, you're not going to be able to see it. So we can pop the second one on. I'm going to keep it all roughly in the same sort of place. Have I lost some leaves off that one? It looks a little bit shorter. Actually, that might work, being a little bit shorter. There we go. And do you do this? Do you talk to yourself when you're crafting? I do all the time. And then I'm going to come in with one of my other shapes. And again, whatever foliage you have got is going to work. What have I got on there? A bit of glue dropped. Oh, that's from the back of the sentiment. That's why. We can put it back on and cover that up. Just smudge that now. There we go. Pop our celebrate on. There we go. Just like that. And then the final bit I'm going to do is I've got a few pearls, and now I picked these out when it was dark. I'm not sure if they're the right colour. I was thinking that one was the right colour, but it's not. I think I'm going to go with the lilac-y ones. Slightly different colour, but I think it's the nearest that I've got. I think I might have just taken the glue off that. Has I got glue on? Yep. So let's just put a few random pearls on. You'll notice I always use my tweezers when I'm doing pearls. That's lost its glue. So let's just pop a little bit on there. And then we can pop that one down. Let's get a couple more. I'm just sort of thinking where they're going to go to begin with. There we go, and we can put one here, and then, and again, this one is different. The other, the one that I did to show you in the autumnal colours said hello. This one said celebrate. Basically, I didn't want two cards that were identical because I thought, how would I use them up? So I thought I would just change it up a little bit. Just sticking that one down. I might have to start doing giveaways when people start watching these videos. I might just have to start sending out some cards to some of you lovely viewers who comment and like and subscribe to my channel, just to use them up. Otherwise I'm going to end up with a lot of cards left over, aren't I? There we are. Right, I've got a couple more purple ones down here. Don't know if you can just see a few. Ooh, I'm flicking them all over and I haven't got enough spare to be doing that. Isn't random hard? I find it one of the hardest things to do. Where do we want that one? I don't want it in a line. Ooh, put it there. There we go. Oh, that lilac works. There we go. And that is our card. How easy was that? And it's only taken us, well, it's taken us less than 25 minutes. So we've got hello in the lovely autumnal colours, and we've got celebrate in the gorgeous plums. Which is your favourite? I'd love to know. So thank you for watching. I've got another one lined up that I'm going to load in the next couple of days. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like or to subscribe rather, to click on the notifications and to let me have your comments because I'd love to know what you think. So until the next one, thanks for watching and I hope everyone keeps well. Take care. Bye.